Everyone, Children's Librarian Alicia here again. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm at home like many of you. This is my second shelf isolation video where I recommend children's books that you can read from home while the library is closed, suggest activities to do to keep yourselves busy, and tell bad jokes. So today's joke is, what do you call a robot that always takes the longest route? R2-D2. Hey. Okay, so the books I'm talking about today, as you might have guessed from the joke and the title, are chapter books for the older set, especially those who like Star Wars and who like robots. And just a reminder that all of the books I talk about are available through our online services that you can access through your library card. And you can visit our Schools Out Survival Guide. There's a link in the description. And we've got instructions on how to access all of the different ebook platforms that we subscribe to. There's some info there about how to get a library card if you don't have one and we're closed. And lots of other things that you can do with the kids while you're at home. So, the first book I'm going to recommend today is called The Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Angleberger. And this is the first book in quite a long series now. So if you like this book, there's a whole bunch more that you can read as well. And in this story, a sixth grader named Tommy has a friend named Dwight. And Dwight is kind of the class oddball. But one day, Dwight folds an origami finger puppet of Yoda, the character from Star Wars, and he starts using it to dispense advice to his classmates. And the weird thing about this is that the advice that Origami Yoda gives is actually really good. And that's weird because Dwight himself is kind of clueless. So Tommy wants to figure out what is going on here. Does the Origami Yoda have some kind of supernatural power or something to give advice? And he wants to know whether he can trust that advice because he wants to ask Origami Yoda a very important question. And he wants to know whether he can trust it or not. So, this is a really fun book for about ages 7 or 8 and up. And it's even better if you like Star Wars. And you can download it and its many sequels from Freeding. Another easy chapter book series. So our second book, it's another series, and it's another Star Wars based series called Jedi Academy by Jeffrey Brown. And this story is kind of told through comics, doodles, journal entries, kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Big Nate, if you like those. And this is a story about a boy named Roan who is he's accepted into Jedi Academy. And he studies the Force under Master Yoda, but he also ends up dealing with your normal middle school hijinks, like dealing with bullies and field trips and all sorts of other stuff. So it's another funny book, and it appeals to our Star Wars lovers and also kids who have read through Diary of a Wimpy Kid and all of those similar books and are looking for something a little bit different and new. And you can read the entire series on Library to Go. Our next two books are also chapter books, and they are also available on Library to Go. The first one is called House of Robots by James Patterson. Yes, he writes kids' books too. I don't know how he does it. And the next one is called Ungifted by Gordon Corman. So in House of Robots, this is about a fifth grader named Sammy, and his mom is like a super genius scientist, and she has built a robot, and she asks Sammy to take it to school with him. And Sammy already has some trouble fitting in at school, and so the robot as well, bringing that to school doesn't really help that very much. So what is he going to do? This is it's a funny, but also kind of touching book about friendship and school life. And there's kind of a fun and very interesting twist about why Sammy's mom built the robot in the first place. I won't spoil it. You'll just have to read the book. And Ungifted, it deals with robots as well in kind of a little bit of a more conventional way. And it's about an 8th grader named Donovan, who is kind of the class clown. He doesn't take school very seriously. He gets in a lot of trouble for pranks and things like that. But one day, thanks to an administrative mix-up, he ends up enrolled in a school for extremely gifted children with like genius level IQs. And Donovan he does his best to fly under the radar and hope that nobody notices that he doesn't really belong there. But in the process, he makes new friends, he joins the robotics team at the school, and he kind of starts realizing that maybe he does have something to contribute to this group of super smart kids at his new school. So the story is kind of unrealistic at times, but it's pretty sweet and it's funny. And Gordon Corman is popular for a reason, and he's written a ton of other books, so if you like Ungifted, you'll probably like a lot of his other books as well. So those are our 4 books for today. And our activity idea is based on our first book, The Strange Case of Origami Yoda, and as you might guess, it is go make some origami. So you can you can try making some origami figures from Star Wars. I've included a link in the description to Tom Angleberger's own website where he has instructions for how to make pretty much every Star Wars figure out of origami. I've also included some links just to instructional YouTube videos about how to make other origami figures, some that are a little easier because the Star Wars ones are quite difficult. I made a pretty simple, your classic paper crane. I'm not that good at origami. This is an easier one. And as you can see, you do not need to have origami paper to make origami. You can make it out of any kind of paper you have lying around. This was made out of construction paper because that's what I had, and it turned out pretty fine. So give it a try. There's easy ones, there's hard ones. Pick something that you like and let us know what you made. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.